first question that I've kind of asked everybody to start is kind of how would you describe your own leadership style, and kind of how did you develop that those characteristics, I guess, as you've gone throughout your athletic career?
Yeah, I would say that my leadership style is very kind of like pleasing people, not like I always want everyone's opinion on like what they think we should be doing and how, because I feel like making everyone happy, or at least trying to make everyone happy on the team, is going to make a better environment. Obviously sometimes you can't do things where people always like it, or there's going to be things where people disagree, but if you can try to get input with people, like, and just working together, I feel like that's a lot better than just telling people, like, this is what we have to do. Although sometimes, obviously, you do have to do that.
Yeah. And, were there some figures in your life, whether it be, a coach or your parents or whoever it might be, that kind of influenced those characteristics onto you a little bit to where you're sitting here now? You're like, I didn't think I'd pull this from person A, but here I'm doing the exact thing that they were doing when I was a kid or what have you.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I feel like I've just seen multiple different coaching styles throughout, my golfing career and just any sports or just like events in general, and I feel like I've just seen like what I would do in these situations, and that's what I try to do. I want the best for my team, and I want their input so I can be the best for them.
Yeah, and golf is such, I think, more so than probably all of our other sports. It's so individualized, right? Like you're looking at your 18-hole score, your 36-hole score, whatever it might be. What are some of the challenges in being a leader in an individual sport where, in a given round, you're probably not going to see half of your teammates? You might be paired with one of them or you might be paired with a couple of them, but you don't know how everything is going throughout the course of a day. What are some of the challenges there? Because I find golf so interesting just because it is so individualized probably compared to the rest of us.
Yeah, so on the perfect golf day, we're not really stuck between like holes and seeing each other, so although I do enjoy seeing my teammates, but we don't really see each other during the round, so it's hard, like if someone's not doing well, like you can't be there and try to support them, or if they're doing great, like you can't even say like great job, like, so just that like disconnect between the rest of your team while you're playing. You can only like say good luck before the round and then like be there for them after the round, which is hard because you want to support your teammates, and everyone else, or like all the other sports, can do that. So it's definitely different, but I feel like we make it work to the best we can.
And does that make things like practice, lifting in the weight room, all that sort of stuff, does that make those moments more important, do you think, just because you do have that disconnect when you're actually competing? Or you more feel like you're sewing in a little bit more as a leader in the in-between moments, I guess is how I'd maybe term it, like your practices and your lifts and whatnot?
Yeah, I would think so. Just for the team as a whole, I feel like we just try to be more together in like those aspects, since we are so separate on the course. Like we try to support each other where we can, and any given chance we'll do that.
And talk to me how you handle adversity, because obviously we talked about if you're having a tough round, it's easy to get into your head and it snowballs a little bit, especially in golf. But also, I think you've experienced two different coaches too. You have Chelsea and then you've had Brock come in, which are obviously two very different people.
Yes.
So how have you handled adversity throughout your college career to the point that you're sitting here now as a senior, as one of our top players?
Yeah. I would just say persistence and finding the good things. On the course, like if I'm struggling there, I always just try to look to like other things and kind of distract myself, because you are playing with other girls, so they're not from your school, but trying to get to know them. It's really nice to be able to become friends with other schools and stuff, because in the end, yes, they are our competitors, but also like those are really good connections that you can make. And then outside of that, like when things get hard or there's changes in the program or whatnot, yeah, just like if it gets hard or if you're struggling, just talk to like your teammates. Like, this is what's going on. This is how I'm feeling. And then I feel like they're a really good lifeline. So just kind of falling back on your team, I feel like is like the number one thing to do, because you don't have to do it alone.
And maybe my last question for you is the one I've been wrapping up with everybody. If you ran into a younger version of Halle, or you ran into a young golfer who wants to play collegiately one day, or even play at a high level in high school, but whatever their goal might be, what piece of advice would you pass along to a young athlete that wants to be in your position, maybe as they grow older?
Yeah. I would say the most important thing is remembering that you don't have to perform perfectly every time, because it doesn't feel great, obviously, when you have a bad round or just a bad day, but overall, what happens overall is bigger than just that one round. And honestly, looking back, I don't really remember many of the scores that I've had. Like, I just remember the experiences, the people, and just enjoy the experience instead.